We live in a time where you can find endless material on how to get good at jazz improvisation. There are so many books on the topic. There are all those videos just like this video as well on YouTube. There are podcasts, online courses, etc. But while it's great how accessible all this information became, this also created a really big problem. And the result is that we all learn jazz improvisation, neglecting what it really is all about. In jazz education, the most crucial element to jazz, the thing that makes jazz jazz, is most of the time forgotten. But sometimes you can find interviews of great jazz musicians that mention the thing that jazz education usually forgets, or you can find a few rare books that mention it. Now you're of course curious what the heck I'm talking about, and I'm not gonna leave you in the dark any longer. Let me show you a short clip of Dizzy Gillespie, one of the inventors of bebop and modern jazz, where he talks about the thing that I want to talk about in this video.
What do you feel inside, like a musician like you, when they start improvising in jazz music?
First thing you must have is a picture. After I see the picture of what the chordal arrangements are, the harmony, after I know what the chordal harmony is, and then I have the rhythm that I want to portray with this harmony. And then I put the notes of the harmony with the rhythm. So I'm a rhythm man.
So what Dizzy Gillespie said here is that, of course, when he plays a new song, he's gonna make sure to know the chords and the harmonic structure, but when he's improvising, he thinks rhythm first and adjusts the notes so they will fit the rhythm he wants to play. And this actually makes a lot of sense. Just think about how rhythmic bebop really is. So one of the greatest innovators in jazz always thought rhythm first and then chose the notes accordingly. There's a similar statement in a book by the great bassist Victor Wooten called The Music Lesson. He talks about how music education is usually so obsessed with notes and that you should actually always think rhythm first. If you listen to the greatest jazz musicians, you can sometimes catch a phrase that melodically really didn't work out that well. Sometimes the note doesn't come out at all of the horn or it squeaks, but it still sounds great. And the reason for that is that maybe the note is not so great, but the rhythm still is strong. One of the greatest jazz musicians and saxophone players today, Joshua Redman, said in a workshop a while ago that he sometimes feels jazz musicians of today don't play with enough feeling. And I think one of the reasons for that is that they're too focused on the notes and forget to think and feel the rhythm of the music. In jazz education, we are told about all the different chords, about the chord tones, the scales we can use with these chords, etc. We're looking at transcriptions of our heroes and try to figure out for hours and hours what thought is behind a certain melody they played. There's often very little focus on rhythm, maybe because it's kind of hard to teach and talk about. And don't get me wrong, the right notes and harmonic choices matter. They're really important for the sound of the music. But it is a fact that a solo with great rhythm and poor note choices will always sound better than a solo with the hippest note choices and poor rhythm. I myself was usually obsessed with what notes I should play when I solo. This often resulted in me having to take a solo and not knowing what notes I should start on. But what I discovered is that when I started to focus on rhythm more, I started to play with a completely different feeling. And I didn't have to decide so much on the notes I'm gonna play anymore, they just came and adjusted to the rhythm I wanted to play. Because it's hard to think of notes to play and it's much easier to think of rhythms to play. I also started to be able to feel the music more and I was able to connect with the rhythm section on a deeper level. I know this has been all a little bit vague right now and I don't want to leave you like this. How can you actually start thinking rhythm first? Luckily, there are a lot of possibilities to practice this. Let me tell you a few. The first exercise is to start by singing or clapping rhythms, and then after a while you pick up your instrument and try to still focus on rhythm first. The second exercise I came up with once when I was practicing with a friend, and the exercise goes like this. You need a partner, one of you is playing their actual instrument and the other one is simply playing rhythms. For example, you could have a snare and two drumsticks, and then you trade off one another. So one person plays 4 bars of purely rhythmical stuff and the other person plays with their normal instrument 4 bars of soloing. and then after a while you switch the roles. The third exercise might be especially interesting for people that are rather at the beginning of improvising. It's a great idea to start practicing the basic rhythms of jazz. Let me show you 2 typical jazz rhythms. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. You could, for example, take a blues and just play the first rhythm through the changes. The same you could do with the second rhythm, and then later you could start combining the first and the second rhythm. If you play around with these rhythms and vary them a little bit, you already have a lot of material for your soloing. And if you're struggling to right away put notes to the rhythms, you can also slow down the process and write down phrases that fit these rhythms. These exercises can really help you to put rhythm first and notes second. By the way, if you're still very new to improvising, I released an ebook a while ago called Jazz Improvisation for Beginners, and in this ebook we start improvising using one simple scale, the blues scale, and quickly also introduce jazz rhythms like that to your soloing that will help you to get to a lot of ideas really quickly. You can find the ebook on my website. I will put the link down in the comments. So I hope I could remind you or perhaps introduce you to the importance of rhythm in jazz. Focusing on rhythm can really make all the difference. I know that it did for my playing. I hope you found this video helpful. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos like this. Thanks for watching and see you next time.